right.media.
And we're back on the SWOSU Coaches Show. Mike Smith joined by women's basketball coach Kelsi Musick. And Coach, we got the basketball season underway, participating in the D2 CCA Tip-Off Classic, and that took place down at West Texas A&M over the weekend. Your thoughts about the 3-day tournament?
It was an extremely difficult tournament, but it was a great tournament for us to be able to basically get our feet wet. You know, we have our 5 starters are back, but, you know, the rest of us are extremely new on our bench. I mean, Avery was here last year, but she didn't play a lot, and she's really came in and done a very good job in these first 3 games of I think, earning her minutes and allowing people to realize that she spent a lot of time learning last year in an adverse situation with COVID and whatnot, but she's doing a really good job for us. But the newness, they got their feet wet and they kind of got thrown in the fire a little bit. But I think the great thing is, you know, that's the only way to learn is to play basketball games. And we could have practiced for 2 extra weeks, which we're about to, but we're also going to be able to learn from those 3 games that we had to play back to back. And that also prepares you for March. So to be able to have that quality of games that early, I think is really going to pay off in March. It might not feel like it today per se, but it's definitely going to pay off in March.
Oh, yeah, it certainly will. And when you look at all 4 teams there, you've got SWOSU, Drury, also Central Missouri, and the host West Texas A&M. Every one of those teams are going to win their share of a lot of basketball games this season, no doubt.
Oh, for sure. They definitely are. You know, I think the rankings, might have come out today. They were supposed to. And, you know, Drury is going to be right at the top. Central Mo is going to be in the top 10. So, you know, we're playing quality talent right out the gate. And for us to be able to be in the situations, you know, we were in the game with Drury. We did not play well. We were able to beat Central Missouri, and then, you know, playing West Texas on their home court's never easy. But at the same time, I mean, we didn't play very well at all on Sunday at all. It was a rough day for us. So the good things we can take from it is I don't want to play my best basketball at the end of October. I want to be playing my best basketball in the end of February or March. So those are promising things for us to learn and grow from.
And I'm sure there's still a curve here. Like you said, you've got several new faces on the team that's meshing in with these veterans this season. So, you know, I'm sure there's a learning curve there a little bit for everybody to play together as a unit.
Oh, for sure. Just the camaraderie and just learning each other. And, you know, I have to learn rotations and who can do what as well. You know, practice is one thing, but putting them in a game in that pressure situation and be able to learn on the fly, you know. We didn't get a shoot around on Saturday before we played Central Mo. We had a 45-minute shoot around before we played West Texas. So, you know, that was really, they had to be students of the game and learn as the game went on per se. And so that's really going to help us mentally for sure. But like you said, I mean, minus my 5 starters, there's a lot of newness. And we've had 2 full weeks of practice going into last weekend. So, you know, there's a lot of good and bad we can take from it, but we have to learn and we have to grow. And that's definitely something we're going to do today in film and for practice for the next week and a half prior to our next, our game versus Washburn. And
let's talk a little bit about that. That's actually going to be the home opener, and that is the GAC MIAA Challenge. You'll play back-to-back games at the Pioneer Cellular Events Center on the 12th and 13th, I should say, of November. Coach, you open up with Washburn. Your thoughts about them coming into the Pioneer Cellular Event Center on a Friday night?
Oh, you know, Washburn and Pitt are both quality teams. They're MIAA opponents. They're region games for us. So it's not going to be, we don't have any easy games. not that I've ever booked an easy game. I don't remember, but I always say if you want to be the best, you have to play the best. And we're coming out the gate playing five of the best teams that we could play, and that's preparing us for our future. And that's what I keep reminding them, that we're playing for something more and something bigger at the end of the day, and that's March Madness. And we have to think about those things every time we take the floor. I mean, when you get on a national stage and you get national recognition, the target grows. And I always say pressure's either felt or created, but getting to the top isn't the hard part. It's staying there, and that's our goal, is to stay at the top. And that's what these young players have to realize, and they have to work for on a day in and day out basis. And that's the growth and the maturity that we're looking for. So to play Washburn and Pitt at home, those are huge games for us. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about is the fact that we have the opportunity to have fans in the stands, and I want everyone in Western Oklahoma to come watch these Lady Dogs play.
Well, that sounds like a great invitation, Coach. Let's certainly get out there and, fill the Pioneer Cellular Events Center on those 2 nights and cheer on the Lady Dogs. We appreciate you taking time to join us as we're tipping off the season. I know we'll talk a lot throughout the season, but it's certainly going to be a fun ride watching Lady Dogs this season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kelsi Musick with us on the SWOSU Coaches Show. More coming up next.
Are you considering home health and hospice for a loved one? Shepherd Home Health and Hospice in Clinton knows that this is one of the most important decisions that you will ever make. This is your loved one, after all. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice is a trusted name in the home health and hospice industry. Locally owned and operated since 2006, Shepherd Home Health and Hospice has serviced Clinton and the surrounding areas with caring and dependable service. See what Shepherd Home Health and Hospice can do for you and your loved one today.
There's a new energy in Oklahoma, wind and natural gas working together, keeping your energy prices steady and affordable. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO. There's a new energy in Oklahoma, wind and natural gas working together, creating jobs and more money for communities and schools. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO.
Weatherford Regional Hospital is committed to serving Western Oklahoma with the best facilities, technologies, and employees. Everything from the convenient care clinic to the highly trained oncology department to the top-of-the-line mammography and x-ray equipment, down to the women's center, nursery, and emergency room. Weatherford Regional Hospital strives to provide you with a safe, clean, comfortable environment. Give them a call today or check them out online at weatherfordhospital.com.
Need your oil and filter changed? Take your vehicle to CJ Southwest Tire in Weatherford. There is no appointment needed. Bring your car, truck, or diesel in today. You can wait in the comfort of their smoke-free lounge while experienced technicians change your oil and filter on your vehicle. CJ Southwest Tire on the corner of Main and Kansas in Weatherford. Your Bridgestone and Firestone dealer. CJ Southwest Tire. See them on Facebook and at cjsouthwesttire.com.
And we're back on the SWOSU Coaches Show. Mike Smith joined by volleyball coach Josh Collins. And as always, Coach, thanks for joining us on the SWOSU Coaches Show.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Excited to be here.
Now, we are rocking and rolling into the final stages of the volleyball season, and I'm sure it goes by pretty quick for you, Coach.
It does. It seems like we just started, in August. Seems like yesterday, but this has been a very fun season. This is a great group of kids, and they've been working hard, and they're a lot of fun.
Up to this point, the stage in which we're doing this interview, you've reeled off 7 matches in a row where you've come up with victories. Congratulations on that. And what has really turned the light on for this team after, a couple of struggles early in the season? You've really caught fire recently.
Yeah, this team just kind of figured out a way to win, and sometimes it's not all that pretty. Sometimes it's a little bit more exciting than it needs to be, but the bottom line is they figured out how to win, and a lot of that is just their grit and their toughness and their ability to make changes within the match and just find those ways to get points when we need those points. And so hats off to them, and it has very little to do with coaching. It's all them. So I can't speak highly enough about my players and just their character and who they are as people.
Going into this week, you're tied for second in the GAC, and that puts you really in a pretty good position, Coach.
It does. We've talked quite a bit about we'd love to win that regular season title. We have to rely on some other teams to lose to do that, and then of course we have to win out, and we have to win out on the road. We play all of these last regular season matches on the road, so we're going to have to take our A game and get on the bus and go and perform on the road against some really good teams. But if we do that, and Arkansas Tech drops one and they've got a couple of tough ones, then we should be in a good spot to win that regular season title.
Yeah,
but the main thing is just a good seed going into the conference tournament, because that's how we get into the NCAA tournament, is by winning that.
You gave Arkansas Tech their only conference loss of the season, and it's kind of unfortunate you don't get them again in the regular season, Coach, for a chance to knock them off that top spot.
That's right. And they're a really, really good team, and I just think we're a bad matchup for them. So, we might have a chance to see them in the conference tournament, and we'd love to play them again. I know that Coach Dukic would have them ready to go if we did, and it would be a fun match.
I think another fun match, and I don't want to look too far ahead. I know coaches take it one game at a time, and I certainly understand that. But, you're tied with Oklahoma Baptist right now for second place, and you got one more shot at them at their place coming up next week.
Yeah, I hope that's a very exciting match. They play a really great brand of volleyball. They play very fast, very controlled, and usually when we play against them, we kind of do the same thing. We mimic that. And it's typically a very, very fun match to watch. When we hosted them here for our very first home game, it was a fun 5-setter. And we really had to play well, especially late, to get that win. And I know that they are going to be ready to play us. I guarantee you they've had that start on their schedule for several months now, ever since we played them the first time. So it will be rocking in the Noble Center there in Shawnee when we go there a week from Thursday.
Coach, what's the message to the team right now? Is it basically just stay focused and finish?
We kind of take a look at where we are. We have a standings board in our locker room, so we take a look at where we are, kind of reassess some of our goals that we set at the beginning of the season and talk about those. And then we always finish with, but we're not going to get there all at once. We got to take it one practice at a time, one drill at a time, one match at a time, one point at a time. And we talk a lot about just being where our feet are. So stay in the here and now, and don't worry about the future. It will worry about itself as long as we take care of the present.
All right, SWOSU head volleyball coach Josh Collins, thanks for the visit as always, and good luck this week in your GAC matches.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Thank you very much. Josh Collins with us on the SWOSU Coaches Show. We'll have more coming up next.
When it's time to unwind, pick up a bottle of your favorite stuff at Butcher's Wine and Spirits in Weatherford. All the top brands at the absolute best price. From whiskey, bourbon, gin, and scotch to your favorite craft, import, or domestic beer, Butcher's has you covered. And when it comes to wine, Butcher's has the best selection in town. And don't forget to check out their sale rack with deep discounts. Butcher's Wine and Spirits on Main in Weatherford.
Your parents have always protected you and provided the best way they knew how. Now it's your turn to make sure that they are taken care of. Corn Heritage Village and Rehab of Corn and Weatherford is a community providing long-term and skilled nursing care to enhance the lives and meet the needs of individuals and families. Their mission is to provide the highest level of care for your loved ones. Visit them at cornheritage.org or find them on Facebook.
Families and CK Energy Electric Cooperative, it's the ideal partnership. CK Energy makes every customer an owner of the business. Unlike other electric utilities, CK Energy exists to make sure your needs are always met, not to make a profit. We are locally owned and operated, and we are always there with you, reinvesting in your community. That's why in an electric co-op, the people have the power. Owned by our communities, committed to our members.
CK is your energy.
On the corner of Custer and Main Street in Weatherford, More Than Medicine stands ready to fill your prescriptions in a fast, friendly, and professional way. They also offer an outstanding selection of gifts for people of all ages. Their Gold Crown Hallmark card selection is second to none, and More Than Medicine is the perfect place for a bridal registry. All this, that's why it's called More Than Medicine. Corner of Main and Custer in Weatherford. They're on call for you 24 hours a day.
And we're back on the SWOSU Coaches Show. I'm Mike Smith, and we're visiting with Heston and Megan Brown from the golfing teams of SWOSU. And thanks for taking time and visiting with us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, it's a pleasure.
We're going to start here with Heston, if that's okay. You both were awarded Bulldogs of the Week and also GAC Players of the Week. So talk a little bit about those honors, Heston.
It's always a pleasure. We really enjoy just going out there and competing, and whatever follows afterwards is always just nice to look back on and feel accomplished.
You played well at the Tulsa Cup. You really had a good outing. You finished tied for third there. Talk a little bit about how you performed at the Tulsa Cup.
Yeah, I scored well. I hit a lot of good shots. My short game was really, really good, which I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths out there anywhere I go. And but it was nice to finally, play a tournament this semester where I felt like I played well. I've been really close this whole semester and just finally got it done at the last tournament and scored well.
As a team, the men played really well. As a team, the men finished in a tie for fourth place. So actually a pretty good tournament overall for the men.
Yeah, it was good. That was about as close to as what we should be this semester. We've kind of always been bouncing back and forth. We've changed the lineup a few times, and Gregor Beck, we've really been behind him, and he's led us most of the way this year, and he's been our guy, and it's nice to finally win on him, because when you go to tournaments, having a player like that, you really want to beat him, and that's kind of what drives me and our team, I feel like. And this week we really showed that we can compete with those teams and just got to put 3 good rounds together.
Your thoughts on the first half of the season?
We got going really slow. The weather, we had a few tournaments where the weather wasn't very good, and it's kind of tough. But we finally kind of get into rhythm a little bit there towards the end. Hopefully get some momentum going into this next semester.
Megan, what about you? Your thoughts about being GAC Player of the Week?
It's an awesome feeling. It's truly an award that both Heston and I got at the same time. I've been waiting for that week for quite a while now, and well, to get it at the same time is awesome. And this semester has been one of my best semesters. My scoring average has went down a little bit, and the courses we've traveled to have been kind of challenging, but overall it's been a pretty good semester.
You finished tied for second at the Tulsa Cup. Congratulations on that. And maybe your thoughts about how you played the course last week.
I really didn't hit the ball off the tee that well, but I got the putter rolling, so it saved me in a lot of instances. My short game was there too, so short game and putting, if you can do those two things, it will save you, and it saved me.
As a team, you tied for seventh. Your thoughts about that?
So we've kind of had a slow, get going this semester. We're all practicing really hard and trying to get that momentum going for next semester, and I think we can do it. We're ranked, I think, 8th in the preseason poll, so if we can just keep practicing hard, I think good things will come our way.
All right, and anybody can chime in on this next question, either one of you or both. Your brother and sister, so you both golf for SWOSU. Is there any sibling rivalry on the golf course at all?
You have no idea.
The amount of wins I get on this kid, it's insane.
We're not going to talk about that.
Great. Well, I'll tell you what, congratulations on a good first half of the season. Good luck as you get back underway in the spring. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Megan and Heston Brown joining us from the SWOSU golf programs. And we're back with more of the SWOSU Coaches Show coming up next.
Are you considering home health and hospice for a loved one? Shepherd Home Health and Hospice in Clinton knows that this is one of the most important decisions that you will ever make. This is your loved one, after all. Shepherd Home Health and Hospice is a trusted name in the home health and hospice industry. Locally owned and operated since 2006, Shepherd Home Health and Hospice has serviced Clinton and the surrounding areas with caring and dependable service. See what Shepherd Home Health and Hospice can do for you and your loved one today.
There's a new energy in Oklahoma, wind and natural gas working together, keeping your energy prices steady and affordable. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO. There's a new energy in Oklahoma, wind and natural gas working together, creating jobs and more money for communities and schools. Clean, affordable, natural gas and wind. Oklahoma's new energy from PSO.
Weatherford Regional Hospital is committed to serving Western Oklahoma with the best facilities, technologies, and employees. Everything from the convenient care clinic to the highly trained oncology department to the top-of-the-line mammography and x-ray equipment, down to the women's center, nursery, and emergency room. Weatherford Regional Hospital strives to provide you with a safe, clean, comfortable environment. Give them a call today or check them out online at weatherfordhospital.com.
Need your oil and filter changed? Take your vehicle to CJ Southwest Tire in Weatherford. There is no appointment needed. Bring your car, truck, or diesel in today. You can wait in the comfort of their smoke-free lounge while experienced technicians change your oil and filter on your vehicle. CJ Southwest Tire on the corner of Main and Kansas in Weatherford. Your Bridgestone and Firestone dealer. CJ Southwest Tire. See them on Facebook and at cjsouthwesttire.com.
And we're back on the SWOSU Coaches Show. I'm Mike Smith, and in this segment, we're joined by the new sports information director at SWOSU, Jon Chidester, joins us. John, welcome aboard, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, anytime, no problem. Happy to be here. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning. Glad to have you aboard on the broadcast as we get ready for the wind-up football season and the tip-off of basketball. Of course, the two sports are starting to cross over a little bit, but wanted to bring you on, talk a little bit about, you being the new SID here at SWOSU. First of all, tell us a little bit about Jon Chidester. I know you've got some ties to SWOSU, so give us a little bit of the background, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. So I played 2 years of baseball at SWOSU, 15 and 16 season. I was part of the 2016 season that made it into the regional tournament, actually. So SWOSU, a lot of great memories at this school, and then I ended up being the sports information graduate assistant under Doug Self for 2 years after that. Got my master's degree here and ended up moving on in 2018 and scurried my way back here 3-4 years later. So super excited. And you just mentioned crossover season. So jumping straight into the cannonball of it all, but we'll get through it.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Certainly will. And this is your first week on the job, so, is your head spinning yet?
Head is not spinning. Thankfully, 2 years being that GA at least makes me not spin, but just trying to knock all the rust and the dust off and just remember what all needs to get done is definitely on my to-do list. So, but again, very excited, but yeah, getting humbled day by day.
Certainly has to feel pretty good having some of that experience and being in some familiar territory back here at SWOSU. So does it kind of feel like home again?
Yeah, that was a giant reason why I kind of made the switch back, is just the family, the family atmosphere, just being around in Weatherford. I love Weatherford. I live in Yukon right now, and just being back in Weatherford alone, it just kind of excites me. So most definitely that, and then I'll definitely give my predecessor a shout out.
Sure.
Doug Self. He absolutely, he gave me a solid reference and definitely set me up to kind of step in. And so really, really happy to call him a friend and then an old colleague.
Jon, what about basketball? Obviously, that's kind of the next big sport that tips off as football begins to wind up. I'm sure it'll be nice just to have fans back in the stands this year.
Very excited for the fans. I think I didn't get to experience the COVID crazy of having no fans. I heard all the stories. One thing I do know is getting the event center, the Pioneer Cellular Event Center, filled up and rocking with a lot of wins and a lot of good culture and atmosphere. It's a fun place to be on a Thursday and Saturday when games are rocking in conference play. So very excited to just be a small part of the Bulldog basketball.
I, for one, can tell you I am most excited to have fans back in the stands because to me there's nothing worse than the broadcaster being able to set into a place and everybody in the joint can hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Jon, anything you want to add before we wrap up the interview?
Mike, no, not really. If I haven't said it 13 times, just so excited to be back in Weatherford and to, again, just be a small part of the program and to just promote SWOSU athletics. I do think I bleed blue. Been at SWOSU, here I am back, just so excited. And, hey, happy to be working with you as well.
Same here. I look forward to it, and we're going to have some fun times, my friend.
Most definitely, sir.
Jon Chidester, thanks for stepping in and joining us on the SWOSU Coaches Show this week.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you very much, and we'll wrap up the program next.
When it's time to unwind, pick up a bottle of your favorite stuff at Butcher's Wine and Spirits in Weatherford. All the top brands at the absolute best price. From whiskey, bourbon, gin, and scotch to your favorite craft, import, or domestic beer, Butcher's has you covered. And when it comes to wine, Butcher's has the best selection in town. And don't forget to check out their sale rack with deep discounts. Butcher's Wine and Spirits on Main in Weatherford.
Your parents have always protected you and provided the best way they knew how. Now it's your turn to make sure that they are taken care of. Corn Heritage Village and Rehab of Corn and Weatherford is a community providing long-term and skilled nursing care to enhance the lives and meet the needs of individuals and families. Their mission is to provide the highest level of care for your loved ones. Visit them at cornheritage.org or find them on Facebook.
Families and CK Energy Electric Cooperative, it's the ideal partnership. CK Energy makes every customer an owner of the business. Unlike other electric utilities, CK Energy exists to make sure your needs are always met, not to make a profit. We are locally owned and operated, and we are always there with you, reinvesting in your community. That's why in an electric co-op, the people have the power. Owned by our communities, committed to our members.
CK is your energy.
On the corner of Custer and Main Street in Weatherford, More Than Medicine stands ready to fill your prescriptions in a fast, friendly, and professional way. They also offer an outstanding selection of gifts for people of all ages. Their Gold Crown Hallmark card selection is second to none, and More Than Medicine is the perfect place for a bridal registry. All this, that's why it's called More Than Medicine. Corner of Main and Custer in Weatherford. They're on call for you 24 hours a day.
And that concludes this week's segment of the SWOSU Coaches Show. Thanks to our guest this week, women's basketball coach Kelsi Musick, also from volleyball Josh Collins, also from the golf program Heston and Megan Brown, and the new sports information director at SWOSU, Jon Chidester. I'm Mike Smith, thanking you for watching this week's edition of the SWOSU Coaches Show. Until next time, so long everybody.
Right.media.